Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. My name is Melinda Alston, and I'm an instructional support specialist here at CommonLit. And I'm really excited to share our new curriculum, CommonLit 360, with you today. I want to start off by letting you know how much I appreciate you for being here today and how much I appreciate everything that you do for our students and for our teachers. I know you can't take my appreciation to the bank, but I do hope you take it to heart. I recently joined CommonLit after teaching high school English for 10 years here in North Carolina. And so I understand the amount of patience and resiliency that you've had to exercise and that you're continuing to exercise. So I really just want to start by thanking you for your time. So the launch of CommonLit 360 is unlike the launch of any other product that we've released. We've invested the past 3 years in developing this curriculum. And I want you to guess how much it is. It's free. That's right. It is free. You don't have to worry about falling in love with the curriculum. And then all of a sudden we're like, you know what? I'm gonna need $2 if you want to see your data. And I'm gonna need $3 if you want to see this text. You don't have to worry about that. We are free and we will always be free. Now we are gonna ask for one type of currency, and that's your feedback. So at the end of today's survey, please make sure that you complete just a 5-minute survey. Let us know any thoughts that you have, any questions that you have regarding what I demoed today. As far as logistical items, we are not going to use the chat and raise your hand icons because of the amount of people here today. However, you can pose questions throughout today's webinar by selecting that Q&A feature. And my colleague Matt is going to answer your questions to the best of his abilities. I will also stay on at the end of today's webinar and help answer questions as well. So today we're going to start off by just talking about what CommonLit 360 is. Then I'll share with you what's included in each 360 unit. Then I'll make sure you understand how to access the curriculum. And then we'll end today with that 5-minute survey because once again, your feedback is critical. While I'm going over everything today and while I'm demoing our features, I am going to turn off my camera. However, I will turn my camera back on before we close out for today. So you might be wondering, what is CommonLit 360 and how is it different from our original library? Well, it is a full year comprehensive curriculum for grades 6 through 10 with ready-to-use materials and new digital features. Also, our curriculum was developed alongside 50 schools nationally. So it's teacher tested and administrator approved. As far as the overall structure of the curriculum, we have 4 units available right now, and we look forward to releasing units 5 and 6 this school year. Each unit includes everything that you need for 5 to 7 weeks of instruction. As you can see here, the units focus on different genres. We cover short story units, novel units, research units. We really wanted to make sure we had a full coverage of the standards. Let's take a closer look at the progression of units across grades. As you move across a grade, each unit builds on the previous one in terms of rigor, complexity of skill, task, volume of reading, and writing expectations. Another feature is the vertical alignment. That means that all unit ones focus on a similar genre and vertically aligned skill. So I saw in the chat, I have a lot of literacy coaches and district personnel attending today's webinar. This feature is really effective because you can speak to that connection across grade levels when you're working with teachers. For teachers, this feature is really helpful when you're collaborating in your PLCs because you can discuss the progression of skills and units with your peers across different grade levels. Now, I'm going to take us out of the slide deck and I'm going to go to commonlit.org and show you how to navigate the website and how to get to the curriculum. Let me hide this bar here. All right. So when you'll log in, you'll go to Browse Content 360 Curriculum. First, you can click here to access our complete overview of CommonLit 360. We also have the following video that introduces our new 360 curriculum. As you scroll down, you can see the whole scope and sequence of the curriculum. We cover grades 6 through 10, and this is the new page where all of the 360 units are stored. I'm going to scroll a bit and just give you a sense of the unit titles and topics, starting with 6th grade. So I like that 6th grade starts off with Unit 1, which is on characters who change and grow, because 6th grade is really a critical time to get students thinking about how we, along with the characters in a text, grow and change as we navigate different relationships. As you will see, a lot of our first units encourage students to reflect on their attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors in the context of a group setting and based on age. Unit 1 for 7th grade, for example, they explore how we position people as insiders and outsiders. Unit 1 for 8th grade, they're questioning how we construct morality and how we define what's right and wrong, and how do you make decisions regarding revenge. I really like our 8th grade Unit 1 because it really gets students thinking like, what would you do in that situation? Unit 1 for 9th grade, we're getting students to dig deeper into how we conform, whether something is right or wrong. And Unit 1 for 10th grade, students are thinking about that transition from childhood to adulthood. Unit 2 is our multi-genre unit. And we've made sure that once again, we are covering themes and topics that are relatable to our students and that are high interest. So for my sci-fi fans out there, we have a science fiction and social commentary unit for 10th grade. And I really like that because it really sets them up to start exploring satire in 11th and 12th grade. In 9th grade, we have students looking at how we impact the environment. In 8th grade, Unit 2, students are analyzing characters that make courageous choices. For 7th grade, if you teach 7th grade, or you remember 7th grade, or you have a 7th grader at home, I really hope you can appreciate why we placed the adolescence unit here. I feel like this unit it's really humorous. Well, it sheds a humorous light on some of the teenage angst that students often go through during this age. But it also allows them to reflect on some of the struggles that they are dealing with as teenagers as well. And so I think that's a perfect fit for 7th grade. And then for 6th grade, students are really thinking about how they handle failure and how they define success. Unit 3 is our novel unit, and while we do not supply the novel, we do provide all the resources you need to effectively teach the novel. Let's go over the novel of choice for each grade level. The 6th grade novel of choice is The Watsons Go to Birmingham, 1963. We have The Giver for Unit 3 for 7th grade. The novel of choice for 8th grade is Brown Girl Dreaming. For 9th grade, the novel of choice is Animal Farm. And our 10th graders will be reading Things Fall Apart. Even though we have the novel unit as Unit 3, feel free to teach it. You know, if you want to teach your novel in the beginning of the year or near the end of the year, you have that flexibility still. All right. Unit 4 is our research units. And what I really like about our research units is they really get students reflecting on social issues on a macro level and a micro level. So for example, Unit 4 for 7th grade, students are thinking about how Social media can be negative and positive, and how they consume social media. But then when they get to ninth grade, they're thinking about how corporations and companies target us as consumers. And so I really like that our research units are leaning into serious social issues and really we're thinking about that global citizenship piece. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, we are still developing units 5 and 6, but we look forward to releasing them early spring this school year. We're going to go ahead and use unit 1 for 6th grade as our sample unit. This unit page is really your one-stop shop for all the materials that you need. Every unit comes with a unit guide. So we're going to go ahead. Oh, okay. Stop moving my screen. Download unit guide. Boom, boom. All right. This unit guide is really going to help you internalize the unit and plan instruction. From this guide, you can see that we cover reading, writing, grammar, discussion, and vocabulary skills. The unit guide will also show you the arc of reading and writing instruction. And this is really helpful, once again, for backwards planning. If you scroll back up, you can also click on the pacing guide to help you with backwards planning. And we've assumed, for middle school, we've assumed 45 minutes of daily instruction. And for high school, we've assumed 90 minutes of daily instruction. The pacing guide will show you how much time, or suggest how much time you might spend on a lesson. And it will let you know what lessons are essential or optional or recommended. So this is, once again, really helpful when you're trying to plan out your year. All right, I'm going to go to our lessons and materials tab now. And here's where you can access the already made materials for this unit. We know that time is everything, so we're not going to give you a lesson plan or lesson plans and just leave you in the dust. If you need to assess where your students' writing skills are, we provide a writing baseline assessment, and also we provide a rubric. You don't have to spend time creating these resources. This also means that we've already looked up supplemental texts that relate to the unit themes, and we've provided resources for independent reading and book club as well. So once again, you don't have to spend time creating these resources. The next time saver I want to share with you are the intro slide decks. The intro slide decks are really helpful because they hook students before starting the unit or before starting a lesson. And once again, they're going to save you time. So I had to make a copy of this, and that's because we want to make sure you can customize and modify this as needed. When you open an intro slide deck, it will present the essential question, and then it will have students engage with that essential question before starting the unit. So I really like those because they are student-centered. Next, I want to show you our vocabulary instruction. So we know vocabulary is key, and that's why every unit comes with at least one vocabulary activity set. These vocabulary activity sets really prepare students for success on the vocabulary quiz, and it helps them enhance their academic language as well. For example, this activity is asking students to determine the meaning of a word based on context clues. Students are given a sentence, a picture with a caption, and then asked to make a prediction. There are 4 more activities that follow, and these activities are flexible and great for do nows or homework, and will help your students learn important academic words from the text they read. Now let's go back to the platform. I want to go ahead and have us explore all the activities that come with a reading lesson. I am going to give you a heads up. Our reading lessons are going to become digital, so you'll want to look out for that change. When you click on a reading lesson, here we go. First, you'll notice that we have the following digital features. We provide students with a read aloud tool. The text can be translated in over 30 languages. And students can annotate the text as well. Once more, every 360 lesson has a skill focus and during reading questions that build student understanding. Students are being asked to make specific annotations, highlight evidence, engage in think pair shares with their classmates. And so I really love this because teachers are able to check for understanding in different ways. We've also broken each reading text up into manageable chunks where we provide different reading modalities. For example, we might suggest whole class reading here, partner reading for this chunk, and then independent reading for this chunk. You don't have to go with our recommendations, but they're there to rely on if you need them. We also provide standard aligned assessment questions to wrap up the lesson. We have both multiple choice and short answer responses. Now, you might be wondering, where's the teacher copy? Okay, I'm going to exit out of this since that was the student preview. And when we click on the reading, on your page, you'll see download PDF. When you click download PDF, you'll go to teacher copy. The teacher copy will let you know where you're located at in the lesson in terms of the essential readings. It will suggest how to facilitate the lesson, and it will provide you the answers to all of the during reading questions. And so once again, this is really helpful because you can facilitate, as a teacher, you can facilitate this lesson with confidence. And if you need like sub plans, this is really helpful because the substitute doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to, read this entire, reading this morning. They have the answer key. So that's really helpful. All right. Now I want to walk you through a multi-part writing lesson. So we understand that often students need a lot of support when it comes to writing. And that's why we've created the following digital writing lessons. We really want to make sure that students are consistently practicing these important skills. For example, this lesson here is from 6th grade Unit 1. Students are using a previously read text, The Medicine Bag, to answer questions and choose relevant evidence. Every time a student opens a lesson, they are given a goal for that lesson and a reminder for how to complete it. Let's look at part 1. You can see that we have our digital tools up here so that if students need these supports, they have them. Students can annotate, use read aloud, or use the translation tool just as they can on our reading lessons. And these tools are really helpful for differentiation. Let's look at part 2. So part 1 was asking students to evaluate a student example, whereas part 2 is challenging students to choose the best supporting example. Here, students are provided instant feedback as they are practicing the skill of choosing relevant evidence. And this is really helpful because it pushes students closer to mastery. When students get to part 3, they feel more confident in answering these constructed response questions because we've done the following. We've scaffolded up to it. We've asked them to previously engage in the text so that we aren't teaching writing in isolation. We've provided the text so that students can seamlessly transition from a previous paragraph by clicking the jump link included in the question stem. And we've made sure that students can refer to their notes from the previous day. Giving students multiple opportunities to practice the same skill really helps push them closer to mastery, and it really helps them learn that skill thoroughly. In short, we're excited about our digital writing lesson technology that provides a practice and feedback-rich experience for students, and we really can't wait for you to start using these lessons. Another resource I want to share with you are the related media explorations. I'm going to go to assignment 13. We know that teachers might find themselves spending time looking for a video or a podcast or a graph that relates to the readings or the unit themes. And then they have to develop questions that connect to it. We want to save you time. So we've prepared related media explorations. They are ready-made, interactive, high interest, and they are really student-centered. So definitely check these out when you get a chance. So there's so much for you to explore on the lessons and materials page that we did not get to today, including the resources and related media explorations, alternative tier 2 writing assignments, and grammar. But with a CommonLit account, you have access to all of these unit pages right now. So please feel free to dig in and explore when you get a chance. Also, if you have a question after today's webinar, you can go to our help widget. We have an amazing team ready to chat with you through our help widget. If you, for example, type in a keyword, so let's say we want to know more about our Google Classroom integrations. You could type in Google Classroom, and at first it will populate blogs and articles that you can refer to. Or it will answer your question right here. However, if you feel like your question is still not answered and you're like, I need a human, you can click get in touch and a team member will get in touch with you. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I mean, as a team, most of us are a team of former teachers, so we are here to help. Another resource is if you click on our support and resources tab, we have a video library to help get you started and to help answer any questions you might think of after today's webinar. Let's say you want to know more about the design behind CommonLit 360. We have a video for that. Or maybe you're saying to yourself, I'm ready to teach my first lesson or my first unit. We have a video for that as well, and much more. Now I'm gonna go back to the slide deck and get ready to close out for today. Remember, if you have any questions right now, please go to that Q&A feature and you can go ahead and pose them, and Matt will answer your questions to the best of his abilities. Okay. All right. So I could not cover everything today. I mean, if I did, you'd be like, okay, can I go home now? So I want to leave you with these 3 points. First, CommonLit is free and it will always be free. Also, CommonLit 360 is designed to support struggling students. That's why the writing assignments are scaffolded. That's why we have in-text questions. We have supplemental text that will vary in grade levels, and we have lessons in Spanish as well. CommonLit 360 is 100% digital. So that means that, yes, you can make copies of the Google Slides and the Google Docs, and you can download the PDFs. However, lessons can be completed through commonlit.org. Teachers can grade and give feedback on the platform. And we integrate with Clever, Google Classroom, and we have some new LTI integrations coming soon. And when I say new LTI integrations, I'm just talking about like different learning platforms that we'll be compatible with. Once again, I can't stress enough that if you don't have an account, please create one. But I assume most everybody here has one. But please create one if you don't. And if you do have an account, after you log off today, you can immediately go into our website and explore. Also, because we can't cover everything today, we're going to provide a link to our curriculum overview guide. Please feel free to refer back to that for all the great features and content that CommonLit 360 has to offer. Now, at this point, you might be saying to yourself, wow, everything's free? Really? Yes, except for the following services. Our CommonLit School Essentials Pro account is not free, but it is affordable. We're not the type of company to be like, oh, you wanted to give your teachers a raise or you wanted to build that new auditorium? Too bad, pay for our curriculum. We're not that type of company. So with a CommonLit School Essentials Pro account, your school community will have access to our assessment series, school-wide data reports, in which admin will be able to, in which administrators will have access to an admin dashboard. You will have access to our professional development portal, and you will receive priority customer service. If you are interested in this, please email partnerships@commonlit.org. Also, we are looking for pilot schools, and we also have a research opportunity. We are actively recruiting schools and districts to become pilot schools that we learn from. If you and your team of teachers plan to teach at least 2 units from CommonLit 360, we'd love to partner with you and provide you with exclusive resources. Hint, hint, the last slide. Also, my 8th and 10th grade teachers, if you're interested in testing out our new CommonLit 360 lessons, please go to the following link. We will put this in the chat as well. It is tinyurl.com/CommonLit research. Okay. All right. So the following links will be in the chat. We'll have the link to our curriculum overview guide, the link to the interest form if you would like your school to be a possible pilot or partner school, or if you're an 8th or 10th grade teacher that's interested in the research opportunity. And then we're going to go ahead and make sure that we have the link to the survey in the chat as well, which should only take 5 minutes. I can't stress this enough. Your feedback really helps us design a curriculum in a way that meets your needs and that also impacts other teachers and school communities as well. While you are completing that survey, I am going to go ahead to that Q&A feature and help answer any questions you have. And that's all I have for you today. I want to thank you again for your support. Thank you again for everything that you do for our students. Thank you for everything that you do for our teachers. And be safe. And I wish you the best this school year. Take care.